Hey, Frankie here. Hello and welcome. This is actually going to be a lot of fun because the stuff I'm going to be showing you is something you can use to really dramatically grow your business in a sense where it'll magnetically attract customers, clients, or patients. And it's also very practical, so it's not something you can't use. So in this training series, just so you know what you're going to be getting, I'm going to be showing you how SEO works. And so you can kind of have step-by-step instructions, not just how to implement it yourself, but if you want to kind of keep track of who it ever is you hire and know what's really going on, this will be a really good guide for you to follow because, as you know, it's a big danger in your business to end up with this guy in charge. And unfortunately, that happens all too often where even somebody being hired domestically is outsourcing to India. So I'm going to show you also what does Google look for. The simplest way to rank your website and get all the sort of customers, clients, and patients you want is really just to give it to whatever Google wants. And you'll see that the same sort of process applies for Yahoo and Bing. And then I'm going to show you what not to do, and so you avoid all the sort of spam stuff. If you've been hit with a Google penalty or your last SEO company, I'm going to show you how to clean it up, or really, if you haven't yet, how to avoid it altogether. We're also going to do some stuff that is not just related to SEO, but I'm going to show you how to create a web message that actually makes people buy and gravitate to you naturally without having to do any pushy or annoying sales tactics, that just positions you as the really obvious choice for people to hire. I'm going to show you how to actually build a relationship with your customers, clients, or patients online so that the sales come to you in a really natural and sort of effective way. And then lastly, we're going to cover some design secrets that really sort of make your website sell. So all of this is going to be related to Google, but you're going to see it works in the other search engines as well. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to improve your web performance so that really you get what I call red hot leads, because a lead from Google is vastly different than any sort of advertising media because it actually reverses the paradigm in the sense that they've made up their mind to look for you. And so when everybody knows in any sort of selling environment is that when you're being pursued, it makes the whole thing a lot easier. When somebody decides to search for a restaurant in New York City and you're a restaurant in New York City and you're nearby, chances are good that they're going to be coming to eat. As where any other sort of medium, there are a lot more in the beginning of that process where they haven't even decided they're going to go out to eat. So you'll have an extremely higher chance of success of converting those leads into actual customers, clients above any other. And I'm going to show you kind of how Google decides to put one site above another, which keywords you want to choose so you can be like a massive online success, and what should actually be on your website. And then we're going to improve and make everything more popular. So let's get to it. The first place I want to show you where to start is in something here, what I've called it's called the Google Keyword Planner. And if you want to access it yourself, you'll need to go to adwords.google.com. They will make you sign up for an account and put in your credit card, though you don't actually have to run any money to do this. So just as a sample, what I wanted to show you is that this is a search for lawyers in Dallas, and so this is what came up, and it shows all the related keywords. And as you can see, just little subtle differences between lawyers Dallas and lawyers in Dallas, can have high variation. So sometimes a little S, and that's great news for you because it means there's a whole lot of people looking. And something you'll find very interesting, this is the pay-per-click suggested bid, and you'll notice that a lot of these Google is suggesting 20, 30, even, and if you look at personal injury attorney or personal injury lawyer, $115, DWI, $123. So people are paying big money for these keywords, and the reason is because they're doing it is because they're making their money back. So with SEO, really, in a certain sense, is you can get $20 leads to your page for free, and so that's ultimately extremely powerful. And they also convert better because people are more likely to buy from a site that receives an organic listing because it's perceived as more trustworthy than somebody who's advertising. So what I want to show you first is how do you choose the right keywords for your business? Well, the first thing you want to do is enter into this keyword planner, something really obvious that describes your sort of category. And then what I want you to do is Google's going to first show you this tab here that says ad group ideas. What I want you to do is click on the one that says keyword ideas. And then I want you to sort by average monthly searches. Okay, so what ended up happening here is it's showing me all these sort of kind of unrelated keywords. And so how I'm going to make it so Google stops showing me just, something like attorney, because even though attorney's, a good keyword, it's much better if they're looking for an attorney in my area. So in the left here, you're going to see something that says keyword filters. And so what I'm going to do is you can put in all these different things. Sorry, rather, I meant to put include, exclude. Keyword filters, you can include minimum numbers, but I'm going to add the word here, Dallas, because I'm looking in the Dallas area right now. And so what that's going to do is going to tell Google to only show me keywords that are formatted, only searches for local, attorneys in Dallas. And so so we've gotten a few that are still duds in here, but as you can see, as we scroll down a little bit, the first one that's actually like kind of a match is a personal injury lawyer in Dallas. There's 590 people per month, every single month searching, and there's big money for those keywords. So Dallas law firms, Dallas personal injury attorney, you can see all the different variations. And so what you can do is you can compile your own report and sort of, click on add all the keywords, and you can download this on the next page in Google. So why you want to do this really is one of the things I'll see a lot of SEO companies do is they'll show rankings, and they'll show rankings for a keyword that nobody's actually searching, right? So it'll have like, a volume. Let's just see if we can go a couple pages, and I'll show you what I mean. So they're showing that they're ranking first for, law firm in Dallas, Texas, which, only 10 people a month are searching for, which is still valuable, but, it's not nearly as valuable as if you were ranking for Dallas injury lawyer, for example. The Dallas injury lawyer has a lot more searches and would be a lot more valuable. So when you're deciding which keywords you want to go for, you're really looking for a mixture of two things. Firstly is that there's a big number of people searching, and then the second thing is that those keywords are immensely valuable to advertisers. And so what I do is actually a really simple formula, which is just to multiply them together in a spreadsheet. You can download this to a spreadsheet. I won't kind of bore you with those details, but then you can figure out where the maximum customer value is for you, and that helps you decide where you're going to want to rank your website. Okay, so that brings us to the next thing is, how does Google decide to rank one website over another? Because Google can seem like a pregnant chick who, wants ice cream at 3 a.m. They're pretty moody sometimes. So to do this, to illustrate this point, and this is actually interesting because nobody here has really done this very well, but I searched for lawyers in Dallas to give you an example, and what I found is a whole bunch of map listings show up first. These are called map listings because you'll see the pin numbers A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then these are some of the organic listings. So what you'll notice is one of the things is that wherever these keywords match, Google bolds them. So like lawyers in this URL is bolded, and all those things. And that's important to you because for two reasons. One is that you want your own page to be really bolded in this so it stands out as much as possible, in addition to ranking very highly. And then the other reason is it shows you kind of what you need to optimize for, and we're getting that optimization information from what we just found in Google a minute ago. Okay, so I opened up the very first one here, and I just wanted to show you an example. This is the very first listing here, which is, as I'm looking at it, CDK Lawyers, and sort of what their website looks like. Now, I want to show you a couple of things that you should do on your website, as we call it on-page SEO. Now, Google's very adamant that, like a lot of people will do stuff that worked 3 years ago, and stuff that worked 3 years ago is kind of like, stuffing a bunch of keywords on your website. I don't want you to do anything really shady, no shenanigans like that. They're much more intelligent now, and they look for what they call LSI keywords, which is kind of just like, if say, for example, if you were writing a page on dog training or something, you would probably mention things like leash and treat and behavior and things like that. So they look for those natural sort of things to indicate that you're actually writing for a real human being. So the most important thing is don't get caught up in the keywords kind of stuff and write for a real human being, but you should mention your keyword somewhere. And so it's kind of hidden down here, but they've managed to work in their keyword, which is Dallas trial lawyers, and so they've done a decent job. Now, the other most important thing is what we call here the title tag, which you can see if you hover over. It says Dallas employment lawyers, Dallas commercial business litigation attorneys, and then has their name. And so Google obviously hasn't updated their refresh, or actually this is just because they're showing their map listing, but typically whatever information is in here in the title tag is exactly what's going to show up in Google. So I'm just going to do a quick search of their website just to show you that this title tag is what comes up. Whoops, I meant to search that. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to copy that and search that over here. So I just wanted to show you that's their title tag is exactly what's showing up in their sort of organic listing. And so this is where you really want to focus your sort of your business around whatever your important keywords are. Without looking too spammy either, you can just say, like, in this case, if your keyword was personal injury attorney Dallas, then you would have personal injury attorney Dallas and then your name. Right? So it's very, very simple. And most people aren't actually looking at your title tags, so title tags are really, really mostly for Google. Okay, now I wanted to show you by comparison. This is the 8th page, the pages that aren't ranking well. And so you'll notice that most of these don't really have optimized title tags. Law firm, their name, this one's a little better. But you'll see, a whole lot of names, and you'll notice their things. So I happened to open one of these that was poorly optimized, which is Walter Bolito and Crane. And you'll notice they have a pretty plain and boring website in addition, right? It's kind of just like this ugly sort of brown wall of text. But you'll notice, like, when I hover over their title tag, it doesn't really mention the keyword that they're going after. And so you'll also notice that you don't really see anything about their keyword in there. It just says, welcome to our website. They've got a little mention of Texas super lawyers, but it actually doesn't ever mention that they're an attorney in Dallas or a lawyer in Dallas. So it would be kind of impossible for them to rank for a keyword that's just not really on their webpage. So, even though you don't want to get really spammy and stuff your keyword, you should sort of naturally mention it in your text. So that's really, the basics of on-page SEO. There's a little more sophisticated things like checking your images and stuff. The main really important thing is that, do you have it in your title tags? Does your keyword naturally come up in your text? So you'll see a lot of websites where they commit a big mistake is they might only have one line of text and it never even mentions their keywords. So, it'd be really difficult for this website to rank when they don't even have their keyword mentioned anywhere on the page, and then that's going on. But really, the magic with Google, 90% of how Google decides to rank this website over that website is what we call backlinks. And backlinks are really just links from really like a third-party website. So let's see if we can actually find maybe so here's one that's an article that's on the top 16 divorce lawyers, and if I get past all the spam, we'll see. So here's an example of an actual link. So if we open this, it should open this attorney's website. Okay, maybe it didn't, but they have their link probably somewhere. No, they don't. Okay, but imagine for a second, just humor me and pretend this link went directly to their website. This is what Google looks for most, because they consider it third-party validation that you're actually popular and interesting. And we'll get into a lot more detail on what Google looks for in links, because about 90%, 85 to 90% of how Google calculates their rankings based on kind of analysis of the data is based on really everything that's happening on other websites that are not your own. So when you're hiring an SEO company, that's really what you're doing more than anything. So this is a tool called Majestic SEO, and none of the tools are perfect, but what it does is it can show you kind of a picture of the number of links that a certain website has. So I wanted to compare this website that we found on the first page, and you'll notice according to Majestic SEO, they have 631 backlinks. Now Majestic's not perfect, so the actual number's probably a little bit higher, but this still will give us a good picture of what's going on. And so it'll show us firstly, the top links they're getting, what people are linking to them as, and you'll notice a lot of these keywords have, Dallas employment attorney and stuff. So it's obvious they've got a very active SEO company that's working on this. Now, I wanted to, by comparison, open up this Walter one and show you this number is 321, and it's a lot smaller. And you'll also notice that the number of like actual websites that comes from is pretty low. I'd be surprised actually if this Walter one was not hit with a penalty at some point. But you'll notice, you know, their stuff is like much less optimized. It just says Walter Bolito, visit website, all that stuff, but it doesn't really ever mention that they're a Dallas attorney. So even that thing is sort of going against them. So this is sort of like in the first video, the high level overview, and we'll get more specific as we go on showing you you know, how to actively create links if you want to do it yourself, or if you're interested in hiring us. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is sort of the crash course in some of the stuff you'll be learning, and we'll show you how to like really turn all this nerdy tech stuff into actual sales. If you like this, I've got a very special offer for you to make. I'd like you to click the link below and check that out if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about our SEO services. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.